So right now, there are many important court cases happening around NXIVM. If you don't know what NXIVM is, they're pretty much a multi-level marketing level cult with prominent politicians and celebritards that have been dominating news headlines. And some of the findings, Jason, during these court proceedings are absolutely mind-boggling to see some of the upper echelons, especially in Hollywood, be a part of such sick, sinister behavior. And that's why in this video we are going to give you the latest updates about NXIVM. Jason, you've been covering this story very, very thoroughly. What is happening? What are some of the biggest, latest developments that people deserve to know?
Well, yeah, this is a huge case, and it's in my neck of the woods. A lot of it came out of Clifton Park outside of Albany. The court cases themselves, many of them are taking place in Brooklyn. There are several of these things. It's involving Claire Bronfman, her sister Sarah. Sarah not indicted, Claire indicted, able to walk free, but has to wear an ankle bracelet. Earlier this week, I believe maybe a week ago, she fainted in court after it was revealed that Michael Avenatti had been hired secretly. How does this guy have his hands in everything?
Yeah, you think the story couldn't get any crazier, but Michael Avenatti, the creepy P lawyer, literally is connected to this as well, and it's not surprising. And now, obviously, we should get into the exact details of who, how, and why. But again, some of the headlines you sent me are mind-boggling here. NXIVM member admits to enslaving woman for 2 years. Woman has been, I can't even say that word, and photographed by the founder. This is, again, underage women getting abused in so many horrible ways. And lawyers are trying to keep a lot of this secret. I mean, Jason, holy cow. I mean, where's the Me Too movement? Where's all the feminists talking about this cult that did so many horrible things to so many women out there?
Well, exactly. And, the headlines you just read there are just astounding. So, really, about 3-4 weeks ago, the Times-Union Center puts on this symposium, and they start revealing that there's a 15-year-old girl out there. Now, I thought that they were referring to a girl named Gina Haspel, because Gina Haspel had been outed in the media. She's no longer alive. The details of Gina Haspel are available in the short mini NXIVM documentary I did for We Are Change about 8-9 months ago. People need to go check that out. But this is a completely separate woman. So this news breaks, Luke, that this woman, who I would assume, and this is an assumption I want to let people know, would be the one that now Allison Mack and Keith Raniere have been charged with child pornography, that this may be it since they're talking about pictures, right? Well, DOS, which is the cult of women that derive from NXIVM, the women that actually got the branding, the sex cult, if you will, is still up and running. And apparently, this woman, who was groomed by Raniere and others, is running it for him. Where? In Mexico. Why is this important? Well, there haven't been any indictments in the schools connected to NXIVM in Mexico. They also have schools out in California. You know who they're connected to, Luke? They happen to be connected to Carlos Salinas, the son of the ex-president of Mexico. Think about that power structure. That's a highly politically connected person. And with all these court cases going on, it seems like Raniere and maybe some of the other low-level people will be going down. But people like Bronfman, maybe not. And I got to tell you, with the lawyers being kept, the lawyers wanting the jury to be kept secret, I absolutely agree with this. And let me tell you why. When I was at this symposium, Luke, it came out, for instance, there were 3 people. There were Oxenberg, who had rescued her daughter. There was Boucher, who had dated Raniere for 9 years. And then there was a lawyer that had been to court with him twice and actually won once. Well, another aspect of NXIVM is that they were hacking into people's computers for blackmail information. And they got caught. And then they would use countersuits. So if you can imagine an organization that is, cyber aware, and people are sending me some pretty alarming stuff that's going on in the area that they're trying to connect to NXIVM. I'm not sure if it's there. I may be doing a report in the future. But can you imagine being on a jury and then all of a sudden getting hacked into and threatened that way, or weird things happening? I think that is a real probability in this case. And by the way, Luke, when we're talking about this woman who's now admitted to enslaving women for years, from March 2010 to April 2012, okay, and threatening to send them back to Mexico. Think about that trafficking operation there. This is an international trafficking operation. Understand it. This woman is actually the daughter of the co-founder of NXIVM, Nancy Salzman, who both had sexual relationships with Keith Raniere, who also just pled guilty in this case. What am I seeing here, Luke? I'm seeing a lot of people plead guilty and plea bargain and try to get these charges dropped to as low as possible so there's not further investigation and this larger network does not get broken up. But I promise you this, I'm going to be sticking with this story.
I mean, the story is on itself, on face value, absolutely insane, Jason. I mean, look at the other details that we covered previously when talking about NXIVM. Women being tied down and branded without their consent. Women being tied down and forced to watch horrible, horrible things. I can't even mention the stuff that they psychologically tried to damage and manipulate and control these women with, because it was so graphic, the amounts of video that they were playing with them, and the sophisticated level of this, with the tech aspect, with the mind control aspect. I mean, holy cow. Then my next question, Jason, to you specifically is, do you think there will be any form of justice? Because as we know, the legal system, it's not really a justice system. It's a system that usually is corrupted with powerful individuals who are able to get away. But it looks like there's actually a lot of good information coming out that we're finally finding out. What's your take on this kind of justice system, and how do you think it will proceed in the future if there will actually be any justice to these people?
Well, I sure hope there is, Luke. You know, you just mentioned the doctor that was allegedly running the sick human experiments for NXIVM, and they included showing people unknowingly, without them knowing what was happening, some pretty graphic stuff, things that, you know, could traumatize you, and that's what these experiments were about. Well, that woman that ran those experiments, that branded some of these women, Daniel Roberts, look at that. Oh, she's trying to practice medicine in Plainview, New York. This story is today. Yeah. This woman is not in jail. She has not been indicted. You know,
Jason, you got to understand, a major form of mind control is to induce trauma and try to create split personalities to control people under MK Ultra. So this is most likely what was happening here. Again, allegedly. We have to say that as well. Sorry, keep going. But yeah, this woman is still practicing. I wouldn't want to check up with that lady.
Yeah, no, you know, again, in Plainview, New York, this one's out of Arvors, Frank Parlato. For those not familiar with the Parlato story, Parlato worked for NXIVM. He was supposed to try to regain funds from them. At one point, the Bronfman sisters told him that Edgar Bronfman, the mogul, the man who, not just the Seagrams guy, remember this guy was heavily invested in MGM Entertainment, you name it, you know. He was an entertainment mogul, and he was the head of the World Jewish Congress, and he mentored Hillary Clinton before she became a senator, and she spoke at his wake, and Bill Clinton gave him the Medal of Freedom. No big deal. But anyway, Parlato...
How is he connected? Wait, hold on, I missed that one. How is he connected to NXIVM?
He's the father of the Bronfman sisters, who were funding this whole thing. So this guy is heavily connected to the Clintons. Okay, he had his fingers in everything. His daughters tell Parlato that Edgar Bronfman, their father, in conjunction with the Illuminati, caused them to lose $150 million in the market. Now, again, it's a Vice piece, and I guess Parlato's pretty salty about that piece. So who knows what he said after that. But eventually, Parlato had to break away from NXIVM. They tried to sue him, saying he had done something wrong to them. He countersued and won. And now it's kind of his life's mission to expose Keith Raniere and this entire, what is a cult? Again, I don't know how you call it anything else. You know, a lot of the things that they teach these people in the workshops and the multi-level marketing things they are doing, they're positive, they're good. But just like anything positive and good, it can be corrupted. And at the upper echelons, it was anything but. It was very Scientology-esque, Luke, with a very weird sexual twist and a lot of evidence of trafficking.
Yeah, it's pretty sick and sinister when you really look at the exact details of everything that was happening here. Now, Michael Avenatti, right? It came out that he was trying to represent some of these people. There was people collapsing. Give us the full breakdown. How involved is he in this, and is it just coincidental, or what's your kind of take and analysis of it from that angle?
So yeah, I don't know whether, again, without seeing the video, whether she was trying to put on a show for everybody, but it was revealed in court that Avenatti had been hired to basically defend her case. Now, her other lawyer, her main lawyer, is Garagos. David Garagos, is the man who was representing Avenatti in another case, and they are both being sued together by Nike for that extortion case. So, in other words, when Avenatti got hit with that $25 million Nike extortion case last week, I believe, maybe a week and a half ago, Garagos was named as a co-conspirator. These are the people that not only surround this case, but are defending the Bronfmans.
Yeah, this is absolutely insane. Just shows you how skeezy lawyers could be trying to get a paycheck. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the other articles here. I mean, just seeing, we don't have these lined up, but I'm just seeing NXIVM members admit enslaving women in a locked room for 2 years. The things that we're finding out here, absolutely insane. And again, the only way to get this information out there, to make this more of an issue, to actually get justice, is to get public attention on it. We've seen it time and time again. Stories that are swept underneath the rug are just allowed because, again, there's no repercussions in the court of public opinion. And to me, the court of public opinion is the most important one here, and that's why it's important for you guys to get this information out there, because I'm seeing some people report some of the sensational aspects, but the bigger connections that we made here, especially in this video, I haven't seen anyone make about this very important trials that are happening right now around NXIVM. Anything else you want to say, Jason, or should we end it here?
Yeah, I just want to correct myself. So it's not David Garagos, it's Mark Garagos. But there's so much information out there. I encourage everybody to really look and dig deep into this case because there is so much going on here. And there's so much going on with We Are Change, as we're putting out 4 videos a day, 3 on the backup, 1 on the main. If you're not subscribed to We Are Change and Pulse Change, make sure you do so. Smash that bell, ring it, baby, because that's the only way you're going to get those notifications. But most importantly, get out there, folks, and be the change you want to see in the world.